All right, so we're gonna do a tank update for March 2024. So this is a 75-gallon barb tank, barb and loach tank. It's doing pretty good. All these guys are gonna grow out. They're about probably half their size that they're gonna be when they're fully adults. Probably add some more barbs. These guys, striped guys, and that'll be really it. So I'm just waiting for all these plants to grow in the back there. Once the plants grow in, tank will look a lot fuller. These plants out the top are doing good. This is an ivy. This is a mangrove roots, believe it or not. This is a monstera. This is, I forget what that's called. But yeah, they're all doing good, helping to keep the water clean. I just added some catappa leaves because the GH was very high. So those will release tannins and bring the GH down. But all good with this tank. We got the 54-gallon corner tank. This is like a Tetra tank. Well, the plants are doing good, coming out the top. That's pothos. That's a palm. That's a bird of paradise, I think it's called. For the pothos, there's a bunch of floaters. And in here, just a bunch of tetras, snails. There's a breeding colony of Neocardina shrimp. Those little shrimplets all over. They're hard to see on camera. And in the back, there's probably about 20 corridors that are very shy, but they live in the back there. The lily plant, that red plant's doing very well. So we're good with that tank. This tank is probably, I'm gonna switch up. Right now it's just like a little freshwater tank. There's some rice fish and snails and little critters. But I think I'm gonna make this the saltwater tank. So I gotta break this down and find a new home for all these plants that are growing out, which are doing really good, the monstera. Yeah, so excited about changing that up. And then that's the living room tanks. And if we go this way, we got in the bedroom. This little guy, this is a shrimp and snail tank. This tank, they're breeding like crazy. There's little shrimplets everywhere. They're very hard to pick up on camera. And there's little baby snails everywhere. Right now there's shrimp. There's not too many shrimp out, but this tank is actually full of shrimp. That's a hill stream loach. So yeah, happy with this tank. It's just kind of doing its thing. They're reproducing, plants are growing. So happy. And then this room, this is the latest creation. This is a bunch of different tanks doing a bunch of different things. We'll just go through them quickly. This is a shrimp tank. The glare is terrible, I know, I'm sorry. This tank's doing very well, producing baby shrimp. The worms, as you can see, those are black worms. So they're doing well, they're reproducing, the snails reproducing. So this tank's doing very well. This tank's doing well as well, but not as well, if that makes sense. I haven't seen any little shrimplets yet in this tank. But it's healthy, the plants are growing. Snails are reproducing. Yeah, I'm happy with this tank. It just needs a little more time to cook, I think. This tank's doing its thing. This is like a plant. This is gonna be heavy on the plants, especially in the back there. It's hard to see with the glare, but they're all growing in. Yeah, this front section I'm gonna leave kind of bare and just let all these plants in the back just totally grow forward into the tank and just have like a real jungle style tank. And yeah, it's healthy. It's a little yellow right now because of the lights that are on, but it's doing good. Not sure how I'm going to stock that fish-wise yet. The fish that are in there are going to not be in there. Right now, it's just a temporary holding thing. This is going to be a Lake Tanganyika shell dweller tank. I just have to get the Lake Tanganyika shell dwellers and do a little bit of different stuff with the rocks. And that's really it right now. There's some shrimp in here. Just keeping things clean while I get the tank ready. But this tank will be cool once it's all set up. This is like a little guppy factory pretty much. They just, again, it's hard to see on the camera, but there's a whole bunch of little baby guppies in here. I don't know if you can see them, but there's tons of them. And these are actually Endler guppies. And what I'm starting to see is blues, believe it or not. There was a lot of yellows in the previous generations, but this generation seems to be making blues, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I'll probably fix this tank up a little bit at some point. But for now, it's just rocking and rolling with the guppies. And then I got these 3 tanks up here. These are all 5 gallons. These are meant to be to make food for the other tanks. So like this tank has a bunch of worms, black worms. All 3 of these tanks also have little shrimps and snails. So this tank, you can see some shrimps running around. This tank also has scuds or gamaroos growing out. They're gonna be hard to get on camera, but they're in there. You can see some on like the roots where the camera focuses. And this tank pretty much the same thing. It's got some worms, some shrimp, some snails, some scuds, some there's also Daphnia, which is like a tiny shrimp in all 3 of these tanks. So I'm just letting all the little critters grow out, then they'll become food for the other tanks. And that's it. So yeah, I'll give another update if anything interesting happens. But yeah, that's all the tanks. Thanks for watching.